that you did the last video. Okay, here we go.
Hi, I'm Misty Wade, and I did the last video because my husband travels a lot, but he is back, so this is Scott to give an update.
Alright, I was the one who engaged another contractor. I had a friend who had his basement finished off. Job was done really, really well, and had him come out and bid our job. The big issue after having him bid, I talked to my friend, is that when he came out and he did the job correctly, but there was a lot of stuff where he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know some of the add-on costs that were going to be charged, and wasn't kept abreast of the whole process. And when he was done, while it looked good, it was a lot higher than it first was supposed to be. And he also just felt like he was not kept up to date with what was going on in the process. So after that, we went on the internet and called Judith up and had her come out, gave her the estimate that we were given. Basically, she did a review, called me back immediately with information on, hey, here's where the cost is, let me come out and look at your job site, it's a good deal, but let me see if I can help you out. And have her come up to the house, did a review, helped design some new rooms, encouraged some expansion on a movie theater room, and price was right where we needed our budget to be able to get this basement done to our liking.
Without upcharges.
Without upcharges. So today is...
Another great thing with this contractor has been that the original contract we have stuck to exactly. I write checks off of this contract. There's been no upcharges, no changes, no oops, I forgot something. It's all been clear, all up front. I pay a check when the work is done in stages, and I know ahead of time how much is going to be needed and when, and I wrote the checks, then I give them to her when the work's done. Very easy, very simple to follow, very informed.
The thing that I was most impressed with, or part of what I was impressed with, was all of this was done for a reasonable price on everything. We weren't looking for anything extra fancy. We wanted functional but nice, and we were laid out with the contract of what everything was going to cost and along each step of the way. And each step of the way, that's exactly what it costed. Even if there were some small changes we needed to make somewhere, or something that needed to be redone, or something, that ended up being a little bit more trouble because of existing problems with the basement, it all came out the same. So that was great. Again, my wife and I both work. We got the 3 little ones. We don't have a ton of time. We don't have, we didn't have an unlimited amount of money to spend. So that was great that everything was right as we expected.
And the fireplace, she said yes, we could redo that in a beautiful tile, and she could find the stonework that we wanted. And whenever I would ask her and say, I don't think I told her that at first, and I would say, oh, Judith, can you do this? Can you add this? She would always say, no problem. We can do anything you want, no problem. She didn't say, oh, I don't know if we can do that now. She just always said, no problem, we can do anything you want. And it was done. It was not added on at an unbelievable price. It was done for the materials and labor. And I just am very pleased with how it's moving along, and her ideas are just great.
Everything's going pretty good. Can't complain. They've been very adaptive to a few changes with the tiling and with the movie theater room. So we're rocking and rolling. Like I said, 3 weeks into it, everything's looking good. Very professionally done. Really goes with the ambience of the house. So it looks like we spent a lot more money than we did.
Okay. All right, Tim and Cheryl, what do you think of the black trim in your basement?
We love it.
Okay, did you want it initially?
No, we hate it.
You hated it? You hated the idea?
We thought it was going to be horrible, and we just love it.
Right.
Yeah, I would have never thought I would like it, and I love it.
Yes, it looks, and can you imagine if all this was white? It would just not look right whatsoever.
That's right.
And every time I bring up black trim to a homeowner, they're like, and then we have to go through this whole thing where we have to make them like a lot of different samples, and they're like, I'm not sure. I just don't know how that would look, and we don't have black trim upstairs, and it's just not, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to show the whole gig. Okay.